Welcome. Good evening, good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're coming from and wherever you're joining. My name is Petra. For whoever doesn't know me, my last name is Tezak. Don't worry if you can't pronounce it, it's perfectly fine. Um, I'm currently in Australia, but I was born in Europe. And my journey is a bit long, so whoever wants to listen to my journey, talk about my transformations, I have transformed myself completely. So if you know me now, and if you would know me 20 years ago, I would be a completely different person. Not only emotionally, energetically, but also physically. Yeah, I would be a completely visually different person. I just want to share this because we are talking about energetic fields today. Yeah, all the levels of energetic field. So we're going to go a bit deeper. I'm not going to go into all the quantum physics and science and all of it because I get it. You can do the research at the back, but here we want you to actually understand it. And we want you to understand, to comprehend it, to have something physical that you can put the dots together. Yeah. So when people say, you have the ducks in a row, right? That's what we want to do. We want to actually link the dots so then you can understand how Healy actually works and how you can use it on a completely different level. So we also need to understand that when we're using Healy, Healy is not just a tool to patch things up. Yeah. And I'm going to really, I know I'm a really different person. That's probably why you're drawn to me. And I'm accepting that beautifully in my life because that is my gift. I see things completely differently in the world. Not only that I can see energy and I see colors and all the layers of the field that we're going to talk about today, but not only that, but it's also I like to put science into practical use. Because if you have all these words of quantum physics and you have no idea how to put it in practical use, doesn't give you anything, right? So we want you to actually start using these things, and we want you to start utilizing the tool. Sorry, I'm running it mine. So to start utilizing this little device that you probably entered into Healy to support you with something. Yeah. So can you pop in the chat? I actually want to know. So why did you start using the Healy? What was the intention that you actually brought or attracted Healy into your life? What was it that actually attracted you to Healy, and what is it that you would like to support yourself with Healy? So pop that in chats and I'll read through it while we go through presentations, because that's a really crucial piece when we are looking at energetic fields and working with Healy. So then I can actually support you on how to adjust certain things so you can start using Healy in your benefit. Okay, so perfect. Chat's coming through. So chat is working. I was literally thinking the chat is not working anymore. Perfect. Energetic expansion, use the aura in chakra. Yay! I love the chakra and auras. This is the whole month is all about the chakra model. Yeah. So we are literally doing step by step by step by step and putting the pieces together so you can actually understand the chakras systems and the models. And for those of you that are from India, I have Indian friends. Ayurvedic medicine talks about the energy fields, and it talks about the aura. Okay, for my rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, I will invite you. So perfect. This is what you came in. Great. So supporting pain. Perfect. I'm a healer to enhance my healing. Oh my goodness. I love healing for healing work. I'm honestly sorry. This is just my playground. I love it. I really do. Okay, so let's share the screen so we can start doing this. Okay, where is it? Here we go. Now, please let me know if you can actually see my screen that shows my face on it. Just thumbs up if you see it, or pop in a chat that you see it so I know that it's sharing correctly. Anybody sees my screen? Yes? No?
Yes.
Lisa? Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody replies, awesome. Okay, so it's not about me, but let's start with this. So it is about energetic field. So what is energetic field, or what are energetic fields, right? So the definition of energetic field is that it's an invisible energy surrounding the human body. It is also a field of information. It also consists of different types of field. Yeah, so energy field is a term or a bubble of different layers. Yeah, and why is the energetic field so important? Right, when we are communicating, and Healy is communicating, and also we are communicating, because when we're using intention, we are communicating with the field that we can't see. Why is that important? Well, the energy field itself, it's actually, it's a carrier and an organizer of information. So information is the foundation of any field and any physical structure. So when we think about our physical body, right, matter. So when I'm looking at the physical body, but on a energetic part of the body, what it means is there's just atoms, right? Atoms, protons, electrons, and it's literally 99% space. So when I'm punching my fists together, I'm actually punching space. And because I can actually touch my fist, there's a field that allows me to do that. Yeah. Energetic field, it regulates and controls all biochemical and energetic activity in the body. Why is that important? Because all physical issues or diseases or ailments or whatever you want to call them, which we put labels on, come from biochemical reactions. But every biochemical reaction also has an energetic reaction. So because it's contained in the field. Yeah. They can't, it's like a chicken and an egg. Yeah. They need to coexist, but they can't exist without each other. Yeah. Our energetic field also holds, stores, and transforms emotions. As we talked about before, emotions are only energy in motion. It's just energy moving. It needs to move. But if it's not moving, then it needs to be stored somewhere. And the energy field actually stores it. Our body also stores it, because our body also has a field within our cells and organs and systems. Yeah. So it's like a cake. We are like a cake, right? So we lay it like an onion or a cake. I prefer cake because it's sweet. You know, onion you can't really eat. But it's a layered cake. So everything in energy is layered. Yeah, our body, matter, cells, tissues, organs, the field around us that we can't touch and can't see yet. It's all layered like onions, and it's all interconnected. It also holds our belief system and our mind processes. So we're going to look at that a bit differently. But the thought, as we talked about last week, thought is the smallest particle in quantum field. We're going to look at quantum field. So, which is information, and thoughts need to be stored somewhere. And that storage is in the field around us that is connected to us. Our energy field also holds information for our connection to our source essence. So I'm using the term source essence. You might have heard our higher self, our I don't know, God creator if you want to, but it's not exactly the same. But it is who we are. So for example, the body is just the physical matter. So it's like a vessel, yeah, on a physical level. And then out of that, we have the soul. And out of that, we have the essence, energetic essence, source essence, higher self, whatever you want to call it. And it's who we are in our wholeness. So out of that essence, only one drop drops into the physical body, and it has a connection to the essence, and it connects through the field. So all layers of the field, that's how we communicate, because information travels through energy. What kind of energy and how that works, we're going to look at it. So these are just basic systems of understanding why energy field is so important. So anything happening, so when I'm looking at on things on a physical level, when you, for example, look at pain, and I know pain because I've been in pain for over 20 years. Yeah. I've suffered with really, really bad endometriosis and literally had a week out of a month without pain, which even that was like 5 out of 10. So I completely understand pain. But pain is only a symptom. So I would really love to stretch your brain here. Yeah, because we're moving into quantum space, and this is something that's not tangible. It's really hard to comprehend for the 3D brain. But it's the only way that we could actually transform who we are, what we are, how we heal, yeah, and how we feel and be differently. So be and feel differently means that, you know, on a physical level, if there's a pain, if we rewind it, something had to happen before that pain. So your body was accumulating because anything on a physical level, so I'm going to really stretch your brain here, yeah? So anything on a physical level actually first happens in energy. So you might not actually see it yet when I'm saying that, you know, the pain that you're feeling right now or the emotion that you're feeling right now, which could be anger, has its consequence. So the emotion or the pain is consequence, but it actually has, sorry. Okay. So emotion is a consequence of actions beforehand. So something needed to happen in the layers of your field, of your energy, in order for that pain or that emotion to manifest itself on a physical plane, on a physical level. So if I say, for example, I will go with my own example. This is my experience. I'm not going to tell you that this is the only way or the right way, because when we are in energy and when we talk about quantum field, there is no one way. Yeah, so this is a really different concept that I'm teaching you. And I really want you to understand that whatever I'm sharing is from my experience and my knowledge and my research. I am no scientist, I am no doctor. So whatever I'm sorry, today I can't even speak. Whatever I'm sharing today or any day here with trainings, it is my personal experience and my personal achievements. Yeah. So I don't have the pain today that I used to have. And for me, that means that something needed to shift within me in order to actually come back to balance. But in order for me to actually be feeling pain in the past, something else needed to shift in order to put me out of balance. So this is a really simplistic way of saying things. But everything that happens on the physical level first needs to shift in that huge field, the layers of the field around you, yeah, that actually surrounds you. So my pain, for example, that was labeled as endometriosis could have been labeled anything else, yeah. It could have been labeled as butterfly, yeah. So it doesn't really matter. But the body was sending me a message. So the pain was the message. So the body was sending me a message. This is a signal that everything behind that signal on all layers of your energetic body, your field, something's crucially out of balance. So we are now seeing only the symptom, the consequence of everything that's behind in energy. So I really want you to start stretching your brain when you are looking at the medical things, yeah, which are labels. Oh, look, I activated stuff. So looking at, instead of this is the label and what do I need to actually do for this label, look at what else could be out of balance. Asking your body, what is my body actually showing me? So I can widen my horizon. I can actually start thinking, what is the consequence that brought me to this space? Yeah. So trying to widen that, because we are going into this field of information where Healy is actually living, and we are living with Healy while we're using it. Okay, enough about that. Let's look at what really things are. So this is, mind you, this is a really simplistic way of looking at it. Yeah, we can go really deep or really wide, but I try to, because we only have an hour here, I've really tried to make it as simple as possible. So hopefully, bear with me, hopefully this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'll check the questions in the chat later, but I really want to go through this so we can actually have some space for the chat. Okay, so this is kinda, yeah, how our fields look in reality when we are measuring them with, you know, quantum technical apparatus, right, with machines and things like that, and we're actually looking at the behavior of energies. This is how they look like, and we're going to talk about the shape later in the month, yeah. But in essence, for the foundation, so we understand that it goes around us, it moves, yeah, the field moves all the time because energy moves all the time. But if we kind of cut it in half and we go, okay, so let's look at the layers from the top, yeah, so we actually go, okay, so what are the layers? So if I look around, so inside of this we actually have what we call a bioenergetic field or human body field. This is the most, let's say, mostly studied field. Yeah, so we have a lot of information about this field. And when we look at, so let's say these little dots, yeah, they can be looked at on a level of the body. They can be looked at on the level of individual person in a collective space. It can be looked at in a universal space because everything has a pattern. Yeah, so we are literally just multiplying and expanding. So when we're looking at these dots, let's say that these dots are us. So for example, this dot here, it's me, and this dot here, it's some of you. Yeah. So if I look at this white space and the green space and the deeper green space, you know, this is all our bioenergetic field. So any living being has a bioenergetic field, meaning that we emit information, energy, and we receive information. Yeah, so it's like a give and take exchange. Yeah, but when we come in contact with people, see how there's like different circles around these two people. Yeah, we create electromagnetic fields. Electromagnetic fields, actually, this is a really simplistic way of saying things, right? We are electromagnetic beings, but the way our electromagnetic fields work is based on how we interact with the environment. So for example, if I punch my fist, yeah, my hand pushes away. Or for example, if I punch someone in the nose, right, my hand would go back, but you would feel pain, right? So what does this mean? This means that my charge of my field of the fist and the field of your nose met, but they didn't like each other. So they were like magnets, polar opposite. So they repelled each other. So they crashed to each other and they repelled each other. So we created an electromagnetic field in that instance. We are all electrical. And that information that actually traveled from my fist to your nose, it was information that actually then was sent to your brain. So everything is information. It travels from one person to another. What about if I meet you and I want to hug you, right? So that also creates an electric field, but it will not repel me. It will, well, depends if you like me to hug you or not, but it will actually join us together so we create touch. So all magnetic fields do around us is allow us to interact with the environment. Yeah, there's a huge electromagnetic field we call the planet Earth. Yeah, so the whole Earth also has an electromagnetic field, which is quite strong. But the field of the Earth actually helps us to discharge any energy that is not healthy for our field. So we are actually interacting with the electromagnetic field of the Earth, what we call Schumann resonance, or some people call just electrical field of grounding, yeah, that actually helps us to regenerate our field and our cells and our body in so many different ways. So why is this important? So before we go into that, let's look at the first thing that it says here. So there's this big blue circle, yeah, that contains all of the other circles within. And this is what we call quantum field. So quantum field is a field of information. It's like a huge ocean, yeah, that contains all of us inside. And that field actually is interconnected with every single other field within it. So there is no other option for those fields to exist separately from each other. They need to coexist within each other because they carry information from one field to another and they communicate with each other. There's also this little circle outside, which we currently just touching, yeah? And this is what we call the 0-point energy field or wave of creation. This is what some people call free energy. This is what some people call Tesla energy. There's so many different names of it, yeah? And also bioenergetic field, some people call it aura. Some people call it energetic field. Some people call it prana. So there's a lot of names that kind of describe this bioenergetic field, but it is layered, so it's not exactly the same. Yeah. So this field around, which we call the 0-point field, yeah, is a field where there is no movement. So no movement means when we have magnets and energy moving up and down, frequency moves around, yeah, because frequency is the language of the fields. 0-point field means that this is the wave of creation. Out of this wave, everything else actually was created. And this is the neutral frequency of every being, living being, anything that exists around everything. 0-point energy in itself does emit frequency. And it's a really special frequency because it's a harmonic frequency, and it's like every cell or every part of our body recognizes it. Yeah. So that's a new science that we can go into. But for now, let's look at Healy. So where does Healy sit? So Healy sits right in here. So Healy actually look at the entire field up to the blue circle. Yeah. So it actually literally scans all of this. So if this is the vast ocean, so Healy actually does a lot of work for you, so you don't have to. It also helps you regenerate your biomagnetic fields, yeah, with currents that are flowing through your body, regenerating your cells. So let's look at that. Bioenergetic field or human body field, which is easier to say because every living being emits it, has also multiple layers, yeah? So that whole vast ocean that we are looking at is layered even more. And every layer has its own function. So aura is an energetic field that is contained within the bioenergetic field itself. So it is a part of it, but it's not the entire part of it. Aura itself has 12 layers. And we're going to look at the 12 layers in, I don't know if it's next week or 2 weeks. I think it's next week, but we're going to look at the layers of aura specifically because they are correlating to specific chakras or wheels or discs within our body, energetic centers. So we're going to look at those so we can actually connect it to the aura because we're going to go deeper into the aura in 3 weeks. So we can actually understand why we need to look at it and well, what are we actually influencing and what are we communicating with. So But the bioenergetic field itself, if we look at it in a really simplistic way, has about 5 layers. It has the physical, the etheric, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. So when we're looking at the 12 layers, they correlate to the 12 dimensions. I don't know if you ever heard of Kathara. So we have Kabbalah, we have the Kathara, which is the human grid or the energetic grid of our creation. Yeah. And we coexist through different levels. You know, the field is never ending. It's not attached only to our body, it's actually endless. So it's going everywhere and connecting with everything. So this is really stretching your brain. I get it. But at the same time, I need you to understand that we are not just physical matter. So whatever you are identifying with your physical body, this is not your boundary. This is just the boundary that you're actually seeing, just the boundary that you're actually experiencing. But the more you stretch your brain and literally widen your horizon and start observing different layers of yourself while you're interacting with others in the world, the more you're going to understand how you're not just a physical body. We are actually energy living in the body. We are not body living in the energy. It's the other way around, because we are this vast space coming into the physical form, which is limitations. So physical layer of the body, it's actually the most dense body, yeah, the most denser layer of the field. And it's directly connected to your physical body. It's also the closest to your body, yeah, so you feel it really like touchy-feely, yeah. The physical body itself, the physical layer of the field, it's related directly to the physical sensations, whatever you feel in the body, the touches, the skins, the organs, everything that's contained in the physical body. Then we have the etheric layer of the field, which is the blueprint for the physical body. So what do I mean by that? So the etheric layer is the connection between the vast quantum field and your physical layer or the vessel of the body. Yeah, so it's kind of a bridge between them, and those two are connected through different elements like chakras, meridians, um, you know, your intuition. Yeah, in between comes the emotional, the mental, but everything else is connected kind of together through the etheric body, and it creates the blueprint of who you are and how you work, and sends the messages and information to your physical body for the chemical reactions to form. Emotional layer of the body, emotional layer of the field, it actually contains your emotions and feelings. This is the most volatile layer of your field. So a lot of people are afraid, and I can put both my hands up, that I was afraid too, to actually feel the emotion in the physical body, because they can feel really expensive, right? Especially if you have anger or rage, right? Or if you feel like sadness and grief, it just becomes really, really heavy. Yeah. So the emotional layer is so out and it's so vast that it stretches your emotions so much that you feel like you become that emotion, but you're not that emotion. So we've talked about emotions a bit more before, and we're going to talk about them in the future as well. But just remember that the intensity of the emotion in the field and within the body, because they're connected, will be based on if for how long the emotion was stuck in the field. So because it was not moving, yeah. So if it's suppressed emotion, the intensity will be stronger. If you are feeling the emotion, make sure to remind yourself that it's only emotion, energy moving. So the emotion felt in the body can only last 6 seconds. Anything after 6 seconds in the body, you are attaching to it and holding it. So if you're actually breathing through it, you can release it. Yeah, so it's actually a simple exercise that you can do to work with the emotional layer of the field. Then we have the mental field, which is linked to the thoughts, your beliefs, and also mental processes within the layers of your field and within the body. That's not only I'm not talking only about the thoughts and what you're thinking and analyzing and believing every day. I'm also talking about the mental processes and beliefs and thoughts that have been created through time and space. This means ancestral, yeah, thoughts, beliefs, and mental processes, karmic, generational and parents, grandparents, things that have been passed down through generations. And they can be passed down through generations. We call that morphic field. So it's been documented many times that things can be passed down through energy and not through the DNA. So the morphic field actually influences our DNA and how things are passed down, and activates the genes in there as well. And then we have the spiritual field, yeah, through energy. And that is the widest part out of the body and actually connects to the quantum field itself. And this is what connects humans with the divine, God, creator, whatever you want to call it, right? And when we tap into the quantum field, we are actually tapping into that quantum creator kind of space. And that's where the energy is vast, right? And we can feel this spaciousness in that field. Okay, so why is this important? And why am I babbling about all these layers and everything else, right? Because we need to put it into practical things. So in essence, no matter how many layers you have, that's just to look at, later on, to start exploring. And I would love to invite you to explore yourself and layers of the body, because then you get to know yourself and you can actually understand why you're feeling certain things and why you are actually feeling the pain and why you're feeling this emotion and why you're actually thinking this belief. Because there's connections that have, are vast through the field. But why is that important? On a physical level, practical level, if we have a chemical reaction, a hormone, a physical reaction like pain or emotion or whatever it is on a physical space, yeah, there's also an energetic reaction. So as I said before, things happened in the energy field before you actually felt them on the physical. So now you need to play like Sherlock Holmes and go track that thing, emotion, physical play, whatever it is, back into the field. Because then in that space, when we look at energy, things can be transformed instantly. I'm not talking about waiting for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, instantly. The challenge is to stay in that change and do the actions in order to stay and keep staying in that change. So I can tell you from my experience that as soon as I realized that my pain, for my body's pain, was actually had nothing to do with the physical body pain. It had everything to do with my beliefs and my emotions and the way my body was reacting. Of course, there is a physical healing that needs to happen through time. But my pain started shifting and changing really fast. So as soon as I started believing and seeing things differently, my body started healing faster. So I really want you to understand to stretch yourself in trying to see things from a different perspective. So you're not literally just focusing on that pain. Because if you're focusing on that pain, on that anger or that emotion that comes up, you're seeing the situation this way. But if you widen your horizon and you look at it from a different perspective, you can now see and observe, which comes with awareness, but you can see and observe different elements that actually contribute to this result. And this is what we are doing with the field. We are actually looking at the different elements to help us understand how to shift and move things around. Another thing that's really important is also that human body field, if it's compromised, cellular activity is also affected. What does that mean? If there's a stuck emotion, be it your emotion or ancestral emotion or trauma, stress, whatever it is that is stuck in the energetic field of the body, because those are toxins, things like that will influence your energetic field. If that field is compromised, meaning the information doesn't flow properly, so the cells will not get the right information on what to do, because the body gets information from the field in order to understand what to do. That's how it works. And when it does the chemical reactions, it actually sustains the field around you. So it's a collaboration. So if the energetic field or the human body field is compromised for whatever reason, you will feel the effects on the physical body. For example, one of the symptoms could be that you get really tired, yeah? And the tiredness become chronic, and then it becomes, to a point you get a label, yeah? And that becomes something else, and that becomes something else, because the first reaction was that the field was compromised and the information was not sent correctly to the body. So there was miscommunication. And that miscommunication keep happening and happening and happening and happening, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse on the physical body. That's why we need to look at the energetic field and help the energetic field to balance, so it sends the right information, so we can create an environment in the body to start healing and supporting us the way we want. Yeah? Okay. Let's look at how we can do that. Yeah? Now the rent of everything is over, so I can actually go into the practical stuff. Okay, so how do we balance energetic field? So we have all the physical, etheric, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. And let's look at how we can balance each of them. This is simplistic. So I gave you just basic things that you can start and work on. And I would really, truly encourage you to actually start thinking about, not also thinking, but feeling. So checking in with your body. Healy is a beautiful bridge for you to actually start exploring your body, to actually see how your body responds, to see, was this too much? Was this, right enough? Was it not enough? Do I need more? Do I need less? Maybe I should try a different program. What would actually help me? Maybe trying different options so you can play around and see what your body needs, instead of just thinking with your head, oh, I need to run this program, I need to run this program, because that's how it is. There is no one way. There are programs that help and support certain things. But for example, my beautiful friend had a social anxiety, yeah? And everybody was saying to run the anxiety programs, yeah? And yeah, it worked, it supported her, it calmed her down. But then one day she actually felt intuitively guided to actually use the program. I think it's Inner Unity or something. I think it was in the mental health or job program or something. I forgot what it is. I think it was Inner Strength. I think it was in mental health. And she started running that, and she had amazing results. She was literally not able to go out eat by herself in the restaurant. She would be afraid of people. Literally, after running that program, because she felt that worked, after a week, she started going out and eating on her own. She wouldn't go to the gym and do other stuff, but she started doing things. So I really want you to start listening to your body. Yeah? Okay. Physical body. Physical support of the field. First of all, just sending frequencies to your body will not change you magically. Yeah, it will support you. It will help you change and shift things faster. It will actually move things faster, but nothing will just fall out of the sky. Yeah, so on a physical level, healthy lifestyle, what kind of food you invest in your body? How do you treat it? How do you actually take care of the physical body? Are you aware of your body? Yeah, are you aware of any pain and anything that's happening in the body? Also, energy healing, meaning supporting yourself with Healy programs, sending vibrations. Also, touch, yeah, or stretches, meaning, I don't know, yoga or fascial resets or fascia stretches, which actually stretch the tissue. We're going to talk about that in a physical part of the trainings. But in hydration. So hydration is not just drinking water. Yeah, hydration means you need minerals, because that's the only way the magnetic field within the body actually can exchange information. So minerals are really important. And if you're just drinking water, you're actually depleting your minerals out of the body. You need to start bringing minerals in so you can actually integrate the frequencies better. So physical support. Deep cycles. I would love to know, has anybody done deep cycles? Have you done them from the beginning all through? And if you had any experiences or not, but deep cycles are beautiful to actually start cleaning out and detoxing your body. They're also really beautiful to actually support you on a deeper level, because they go really into the cell. So they recharge the cell, they take out of the things that are not needed, and they support the body really well. Also supporting meridians, so programs for the meridians. We have those in pink caps, yeah? So, and then digestive support, because digestive support is where the energy comes from, yeah? And it's also connected to your lower chakras, and we're going to talk about that, which is also giving you the strength, the energy of digesting not only physical things, but also emotions, yeah? Digestive support is really good in deep cycles. Otherwise, gastrointestinal support through bioenergetic harmony is actually good too. Otherwise, using the Healy Search Advisor app, which is really good too. So you can actually go and type in certain things and you can actually see what's coming up for you, and you can test those programs as well. Etheric body. So etheric, the most important thing for the etheric, which is the bridge between the energy and the physical, is grounding. So anything that has been processing in the energetic field and is now in the physical body needs to be discharged. And the only way to discharge that energy is through grounding, because we have the negative ions in the magnetic field of the earth that actually helps to discharge the positive ions in our body. So it's literally connecting the magnetic fields and helping us regenerate. Energy cleansing, there's different ways of doing it. You can actually use, for example, energy boost, I think it is. Coherence is a beautiful program. Anything in the field will not happen if there is no coherence. So coherence means aligned information, yeah, and how the information travels. So if you run coherence every day and then you work on yourself and do extra programs, you will see much faster results. Pranayama breathing, you probably know that if you're from India, so you probably understand that. Belly breathing, deep belly breathing, getting the air moving through the body. So air is what actually transfers the energy through the body. It moves the energy through the body and it moves the information through the body. Also, mindful living, meaning being aware of your feelings, of your physical sensations, of what's happening in the environment and how you are responding or reacting to the environment, so you can see if you get triggered, yeah, meaning that something's not really sitting well with you, or if you feel like you've already detached and you're looking at the world as, oh, I can see that, oh, that's interesting, oh wow, okay, so there's no trigger there emotionally. Etheric body, free flow, which is in job sleep programs. Any nervous system support, yeah. If you adrenal support or what is this? Vagus nerve support, which is also in Meg Healy, and other programs in Healy, normal Healy Pink app, which are local stimulation number 6. There's also balanced nerves in bioenergetic harmony. Then you have energetic boost, which is, I think, in energy support. Then we have release in gold cycle and activation, and I think that's also in job, if I'm not mistaken. So release is really good when we're cleansing things out, when we need to discharge, we need to let go of the old stuff. Activation is really good when we're actually activating new energy, new information to come into the field. Emotional. So we have emotional awareness, of course. Aura scans, are beautiful for this, and we're going to look into deeper into this month. Self-expression, meaning being yourself, opening up and literally saying what you mean, not just, sitting at the back lines, and which will not help anyone, because we want you to be your best self. Meditation, probably a lot of you are doing that as well, clearing up your emotional energy and mental energy. Boundary setting, emotional element is what actually creates boundaries in your space. So if you don't understand how to create boundaries, and if you want to learn, let me know. We can try to figure that out and give you a training on that. But boundaries and saying no, when you say no to things that are not working for you and you're saying yes to yourself, what you're doing is you're actually creating a bubble around you and creating a space for yourself. You're not allowing anyone to come in. So that's a really, really, really important thing. Schussler styles are beautiful scans. So this is in Blue app. Schussler styles are beautiful because they tell you the emotion, they tell you what to do, like, balance it, or where the resistance lie. And also they tell you beautifully what part of the body is that emotion affecting. So they can actually give you beautiful insights into how to connect back to your body. So you can check in, how, is that what I'm feeling? Am I actually feeling that my immune system is a bit low? Am I feeling that, my skin is not really what I want? So it tells you exactly what part of the body. Bach flowers are beautiful. Aura scan for a deeper emotional analysis. And then mental, which is mindfulness meditation, of course, to clear your mind, positive affirmation. So anything that you can focus your energy onto and actually drive your thoughts towards will activate the field around you. And we talked about that last week. And then also cognitive exercises, meaning activating your memory, connecting the left and the right brain, which means that it then fires circuits, neurons that are connecting information into the field. So that's actually really important. Mental programs, mental health programs in Pink App Healy, those are really good for mental field to balance it. And then the last one is spiritual, which is majority, when we look at the chakras, is connected to your crown chakra or the star chakra, which is outside of the body. And it also is any spiritual practices, being meditation, prayer, visualization and vision, whatever you are, connecting to the source, connecting to yourself, connection to other like-minded beings, really opening up your space. Compassion towards yourself. Don't forget that one. We tend to do that for others, but not for ourselves. Developing relationship with our soul's essence. So do you actually have a communication? Do you have a relationship with your soul, with your essence? Do you talk to yourself? Do you actually have conversations with yourself? I know that sounds really crazy, but it actually is. It's building up your energetic system, that it's actually building up your foundation for a stronger you and a stronger energy around you. So here, programs like Aura Module, which we're going to dive in really deeply to understand how you can read it properly, and chakra programs in the Pink app. So if you're not using the chakra programs in the Pink app, I would highly recommend it. I use it through my meditations. I literally just pop it onto my wristbands, and I work one chakra at a time, or I literally put a chakra that's lower on my scan, and I actually meditate through that so I can expand that energy through the space or through the field. Give it a try. And then activation is literally to activate the information in the field, to actually move the information through the layers of the field, which is actually good as well when we are trying to connect on a spiritual level. Okay, I think I'm done. So now that's it for today. There's a lot. There was really a lot. So, but it's really hard to put this huge amount of field and put it into 3 slides that I can actually give you for you to comprehend and do something practical with. Okay, questions. Let me see if I can actually stop sharing this. And then we go to questions. Okie dokie. Let's try. Oh, 52 people. Wow. Love it. Okay. Any questions, or should I just go to chat? If you have questions, please just raise your hand, so we can then unmute so we know who's talking. But let's see. Sanyai, what I loved about Healy is that it works from the core. So yes, correct. Transforming the very functioning of the cells, whereby this disease can be held and overall health can be. Yes, correct. So just have in mind that when we are healing anything that's out of balance, we need to also understand that we are now, like we've talked about before, with the intention and the path, what we're walking towards our vision, we are becoming a completely different person. So the person that you are when you're in, out of balance, you're going to be a completely different person when you're actually in balance. So your mental patterns, your belief system, your emotions, your physical form and body will change completely. So make sure that you understand more and more to remind yourself that you can't be the same person and be without pain. You need to become a different person, because all the emotions and mental beliefs and patterns and energetic connections and the chakra connections, everything needs to shift and change in order for you to go out of that space. Okay, aura, perfect. Also the size of the device itself being such a portable device, you have a health machine and yes, I love it. I agree completely. Deep cycle must be follow the sequence, start from first application. Yes. So my recommendations would be to start at the first program, because you have quite a few of them, and go one program per day for deep cycles until you finish them. So do one whole sequence, because the programs are specifically prepared for the body to start cleaning out and detoxing certain things and then integrating and regenerating. So I would really encourage you to start the deep cycles first with all of them, because you might be going through a detoxification process through them, because they go really deep into the cells. And if you get any headaches or flu-like symptoms, don't be worried. Yeah, you're not getting worse. It just, let's reframe what sick really means. So we are used to labeling our body as sick, but in essence, when we are going through a healing process and a healing journey, our body needs to eliminate whatever is not working for it anymore, because it needs to create space for new things to come in. So when we are detoxing our body, there will be a lot of toxins and things that we've been holding for a while that will need to leave. So flu-like symptoms, runny nose, a bit of, tender nodes around here. This is all immune system. So your body is actually cleansing things out. The best thing to do, drink a bit of salt water, yeah, to actually keep the electrolyte and minerals, high in minerals. Sea moss, Irish moss in a gel, those are really good things to have to add on. Otherwise, anything like vitamin C and things like that to help the body detox faster. Yeah. But yeah, deep cycles definitely from the start. Where was I? Yeah. Please, can we have recording? Of course, recordings are always available. All recordings are sent in one email, end of the month for the entire month past. So we have, what is today, the beginning of the month. So end of November will be sent through Healy emails, so through Healy corporate emails. Things will be sent through. Otherwise, if you want it right away, I post my recordings every week with the link in my personal Facebook group for my team, so you can join if you want to. It is called Freedom with Frequency Quantum Community. And you can join in there, and all the trainings and recordings are in the guide section, so you can just go and follow all through. Okay, next one. Fascinating, well said. Thank you. If we can scan 2 times without vibrating, why the reports, where is that? Why the reports are different? Good question. They will always be different because we're working with the field. So imagine yourself that you're not a physical body. You're actually now layered field. So if you actually scan yourself the first time, your entire self, like meaning the entire field, the layers of the body of yourself, now has acknowledged, changed. And as I said, in quantum fields, change happens instantaneously. So while you were reading that, you have already changed. Although you might not see it on a physical level yet, but you have changed on an energetic part of yourself. So the next time you're going to scan, because Healy scans the entire quantum field, the scan will be different because we have a different awareness. And the awareness comes from the layered field, not from the physical body. Yeah. So if you're scanning yourself, I had a friend, and she's a beautiful Indian friend. She wanted to trick Healy, and she was scanning herself non-stop, and to the point that she did probably about 50 scans. And the last one came up with, she was doing aura scan, and the last one came up with the total overall aura health was like 6% because she was depleting her own energy trying to trick something that you can't trick. So Healy doesn't have emotions. Yeah. So it literally presents whatever is in the field. So that's why I always say when you are scanning yourself and doing any scans on a resonance quantum level, meaning you do a scan, you look at what's present, you read through it, and then you use that same scan for about 4 to 5 weeks. So you don't scan yourself in between, and you just vibrate that same scan for every day for 4 to 5 weeks. Try it out. For me, it works about 6 minutes. But please don't do over 27 minutes, please, because you're going to bombard yourself with frequencies. I would ideally say, if you're sensitive, start with 37 or 38 seconds, up to 6 minutes in between, ideally, and do that every single day, the same scan, and just observe. Your job is to observe what happens, what comes, what arises on the physical level in relationships, within yourself, how you're feeling physically, emotionally, mentally, what kind of, judgments are coming out and things like that. Yeah. Okay. Can you talk on a coach model? Coach model, we had last week and we had 2 weeks before, so you can take a look at the coach model there. If there's a specific question for coach model, you can let me know, and we can actually talk about that. But just in its essence, you can look at how you can put things in and how you can read them. We might do a specific session on a coach model and really go through the entries, so you can actually understand how to read it better. Should we begin the emotional programs that is through resonance aura for how long? Have on resonance now, and can we simultaneously start physical health issues through Healy? Of course you can. So just have in mind, this is all frequency, so meaning everything is information. So when you are actually scanning yourself and vibrating to the body, you're actually vibrating to the field, the field of information. That information travels to the body in order for the body to actually respond and start creating an environment in the body to start balancing. Yeah. You can simultaneously start physical programs, for example, on a pink app. You can also start scanning, like you can start a scan on a physical in a resonance app, in the blue app, vibrate that, and you can still support yourself with programs throughout the day. That's what I do. Just have in mind that if you have never done so much information into the body, you might be overwhelmed. So, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. Just dialed back if you feel like you're getting anxious, or if it's like overwhelming, or you feel like you're getting hot. Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that your body's getting so much information at once that it can't actually integrate it. So you need to dial it back in order to give your body a bit of a break to actually integrate that frequency and information into the body and do something with it. Yeah. And if you are using programs throughout the week, make sure that 1 day a week is no programs. No vibrating, no programs on IMF programs on the body, because then it actually helps your body to discharge whatever it needs to. And make sure that on the day that you're not using any Healy programs, that you're actually grounding. Either swimming in the ocean if you have that option, because salt water actually discharges the positive ions, or literally grounding, bare feet, laying on the grass, laying on the sand, submersing yourself into water, whatever it is that you need to discharge that energy. Hope I've answered that. How long is the suggestion of, where am I? Deep cycle to run? 1 week or more. So it's not a 1 week. So you literally just do one program at a time per day. So you go all through all programs that are in the list, and you take one program a day until you finish. I think it's 12 days or something. If I'm not mistaken, don't take me on that one. But just count the programs that are in, and that's the amount of days. Just make sure that you, after 6 days, you have the 7-day off, and then you start with the next program. Yeah, so you don't do it every single day. 1 day in between. Okay, where am I? Can we daily take physical, mental, and emotional programs? Of course you can. If you, for how many days maximum? Well, that depends on you, right? So it depends on your body. There's no one right way. I've been in this world since I was 7 years old. So my streaming and integration of energy and frequency and information, it's quite different from someone else that is only starting. So I would suggest, if you just got your Healy or recently entered into this world, that you actually start exploring. So I will always say to everyone that joins my team is start a month of gold cycles. And then the second month is always deep cycles. And then after deep cycles, we can talk about frequency, vibration, resonance, and going into detoxification or gut health or whatever you want to go on a physical level. Yeah. And then looking and combining the energetics. So I just wanted to know that frequencies are powerful, and really understanding that you need to prepare your body to help it integrate the frequencies. Because if you start too many programs at once, trust me, I have Healy for almost 4 years, and I was one of the first one we started here in Australia. Back then we didn't know that we can't use more than 3 programs a day. So my programs were like 6 programs, IMF programs per day. Yeah. And like on 80%. Yeah. So now looking back, it's like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. Because your body is now bombarded with so much electricity that you become anxious. And I became anxious. So I needed to actually go off Healy for 6 months in order to kind of discharge everything and come back to balance, to actually understand how my body works. So there is no right or wrong. It's just, if you're feeling symptoms that you're becoming anxious, that just means that you overloaded yourself. That doesn't mean Healy doesn't work. It just means that you overloaded yourself. So you need to kind of learn about yourself and step back and really start trusting your body of what it's telling you, because it's communicating with you at all times. Yeah. And if I want to do something with these trainings, is to actually inspire you to start trusting your body and start communicating with your body and start using the Healy to start reading the feedback from your body, to actually start believing that your body is sending you messages and you can actually communicate with it, because you're powerful more than you think. And Healy is just a bridge, but you need to trust yourself not to put power anywhere else. Yeah. Okay, enough of my philosophy. Manage the community. Community. So community that I have for this, my community, if we're talking about that, the recordings, let me see if I can get the link for you guys. So you can actually Let me see if I can actually copy this here. Bear with me. No. This one. Okay. I'm just going to copy this one and going to pop it here. So this is the, everyone, here you go. This is the link to our Facebook community. It's a private community, so it's not a Healy organized chat, but my recordings are here if you want to. Otherwise, you're going to get them through email either way. So that's it. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Really recommend joining the Facebook group. When we can in Blue Air Resonance for all Healy programs, can we just vibrate for 21 minutes or 1 hour? We still get results. Okay, Suresh. Okay, can you please unmute yourself? I would like to actually have a chat with you. Suresh? Suresh? About the blue Healy resonance. Okay, so if you're not here, that's okay. So,
hi. Suresh,
yeah, perfect. Beautiful. Lovely to chat with you, Suresh. Okay, so my question is your way of thinking before I tell you the other side, yeah? So what kind of results are you looking for?
See, one of my downline, he has been scanning his client and through this all Healy program, and he has given continuous for 21 days, each session of 1.5 hours, 1 hour 21 minutes, and he has seen tremendous results in his patient.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Something like I'm really have a hard time hearing you. So they're vibrating the all Healy programs for 21 minutes. Is that correct?
1 hour 21 minutes.
1 hour 21 minutes. And what kind of results do they have?
He's getting very good results.
Very good results. Great. So obviously there's something that is helping them, right? So obviously that's the length that they need. So one thing, because as you said, right, physical vibration. So there's another thing that I would like to add. There is no recommendation from Healy except that anything chronical, I think it is chronic is, if I'm not mistaken, don't get me on that. I think it is 4 times a day, 2 minutes. And anything else, it's 8 times a day, 37 seconds. I think it is. That's the only recommendation that Healy does have. So this is my experience. Yeah. And this is purely my experience. Anything. So when we're looking at the layers of the field, and we're looking at the emotional, we have the spiritual, right? We have the mental, and then we have the physical. So corresponding frequencies to those fields are different. So the more the physical frequency, the denser it is. The more the spiritual frequency, the lighter and the faster the frequency is. So what does that mean? So if I'm going to the spiritual level of my field, the frequency is faster and higher, meaning the change will be more instantaneous. So I need less vibrating, less time in order to have shifts on that level. But it has to go through entire levels, all the levels of the fields before it comes to the physical level. So if we are working on a physical level, meaning vibrating all Healy programs, physical aspects of the body, yeah, the denser the energy, the slower the frequency, meaning that we might need more time to actually move the energy through the body. So if somebody has been, for example, neglecting their physical body for a long time and they have a lot of physical issues, I would definitely recommend a longer period of vibrating, because now the density is so thick and there's so much contraction, of emotions and everything else in the field, that before we move any energy through the body, we will need more time. So the body will need more time and for the information to affect it in order to start shifting. So my recommendation is always, on a physical level, vibrate longer. Yeah. On an energetic and emotional and spiritual level, vibrate shorter. So, and also think of it this way. At the beginning, when we're trying to move energy out, we're going to need longer vibrations. But then as soon as we start releasing and kind of, stripping off the layers, what happens is our body shifts the frequency. So it raises the frequency. So the movement of energy becomes faster. So you might notice, I'm not saying that this is the fact, but you might notice that eventually you might need to actually lower the amount or the time that you vibrate to the physical body because of that. So if that brings them results, great, because that's something that actually helps them and it works for them. But just letting you know, we are working with energetic field. So this is not one, it's not like Western medicine, mentality of, this is a box and this, you need to fit in this box and this is what works for everyone. We are not this kind of beings. Like, it's not how Healy works. So if that works for them, great, keep going, right? But if somebody else tries it, that doesn't mean it's going to work for them. So I would love you to start thinking about, okay, that was a recommendation from someone else. Great, I'll try it. But if it doesn't work for me, I will shift that and try something else to see what works for my body. Because otherwise we're putting ourselves in boxes which will not bring us results that we want, because we are all individual beings. We are different. We have different stories. We have different experiences. And our layers of the energetic field are different. Does that answer your question? Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Gold cycles and deep cycle protocol per month. Yeah, so I would do gold cycles first month that you start with the Healy. Or if you haven't used the Healy for a while and you want to restart the protocols in your body, I would start gold cycles. And do you know how to use gold cycles? Like, that you have, use it in a spiral. Let me just open up my app. So, here we go. Gold cycles. Oh, you can't see. Let me see if I can turn this one off. Do you see how these are? So you see how they start at the top? So if you actually start gold cycles, you start with the pure and then you follow in a spiral and you end with balance. Yeah. So if you start this cycle, so you go pure at the top and then you have being, oh, sorry, this way, the other way, sorry. So it's pure being, relax, and then you have release on the bottom, and then you go up to energy, care, and balance. And then you start the spiral again. So these programs are actually created in a way for the body to balance its systems. Yeah. So if you do the gold cycles for a month, so you start, I don't know, beginning of the month or whatever you want to, this is just paraphrasing. You do the spiral and you do it consistently for a month with 1 day in between, day off. Yeah. And then when you finish the gold cycles, and if you feel like your body's still needing them, just go for another month. Yeah. Because before you go into deep cycles, you'll need to prepare your body, because the deep cycles go really deep into the cells and they actually you're gonna go into detoxification. So detoxification means that your body will start pulling out things that have been sitting in the body for a while. So you'll need to take care of your body. And after the deep cycles, if you kind of at the beginning of your healing journey, I would go back to gold cycles. So I wouldn't stress my body too much. I would help the body regenerate in between. Yeah. Menke, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that gold cycle that all the programs are fine in morning, afternoon, or night or evening, except for energy. You wouldn't run that after 4 o'clock.
It depends. So
It depends,
agree.
but
Not
if
for
you
me.
don't respond,
Not for me. Yeah.
if you don't respond, some people don't feel it. Some people feel it.
Correct.
I would feel it. So
yeah,
try
we
it
are
out
sensitive.
for yourself, but you might extend sleep that night.
Yeah, if you don't want to be an energized bunny, yeah, so don't run it at night, the energy cycle. So, just leave that one. If you come on an energy, if you're doing two programs per day, and if energy comes, at night, just switch it, yeah, and start energy in the morning next day. Yeah, so you do just one program that day. Because energy will literally, and I'm not kidding, it's like an energy bunny. Yeah. So it's really good. It's effective. Okay. Next one. Oh, 2020. Okay, we need to finish this one. Can we in Australia bush flowers for 4 hours a night? I don't know. Yeah. So running Australia bush flowers for 4 hours, I don't know. Did you try it? So that would be my question, right? Did you try it and what was the effect? Because, my partner did try running Schussler salts for an hour, vibrating. And before the hour was over, like he did 27 minutes and another 27 minutes. And before the second 27 minutes was over, he had a panic attack and all the emotions on the list came up. Yeah. So just letting you know, like I said last week, right? Vibration is sending information to your field. So what you're doing is creating little earthquakes in your field. Yeah. So that means that information and the energy that's stuck in those fields, it's coming up to, it's like bubbles. When the soup starts bubbling up, it's like, boiling. So all the stuff stop coming up to the top. Yeah. So if you don't feel anything in 4 hours, great. If you don't, things come up and you want to push yourself and, kind of get things out, okay, great. Just know that you need to have tools to actually maneuver that. There's no right or wrong things. I'm just saying that every action has a consequence. Yeah. So just be mindful of those consequences and, reactions and outcomes that you're getting. But otherwise, of course, like if your body wants it and if you feel it, why not? I'm using it since 3 months for physical, mental, emotional issues, but I'm not finding any difference. I started with Gold Cycle, then I was given Chakra, Soul Cycle, Power, 3 months, Power of 3, and even other programs. So I feel completely out of place. Should I re-begin with Gold Cycle again? Slow take one. I'm confused. Okay. Swati, I have no idea what exactly your experience and your journey is, so I can't really talk about specifics here with you. 3 months, if I'm honest, depending on where you are on your journey, it might take longer. Yeah. So sometimes what we tend to do, our ego mind, our 3D mind, tends to attach. Yeah. I want results and I want them fast. So let's say that you've been neglecting or suppressing emotions for 30 years. That I'm just, this is paraphrasing. And you haven't really supported your body for 30 years. So there's a lot of physical issues that are present. There's a lot of emotional stuff that is suppressed that you might know about or might not know about. There's also probably ancestral stuff. There's so many layers of you that you haven't even looked at or unearthed yet. Yeah. So trying to fix something really fast in 3 months after 30 years, it's a drop in the ocean. Yeah. So what I would like to suggest and maybe invite you is to let go of the attachment of the outcome and really focus, because what we do when we attach to the outcome on energetic field, what happens is we are shrinking, we are contracting the field. So we're not allowing the new information to come in. So my invitation to you would be to start slow. So restart, do the gold cycles for a month. Then you can go into deep cycles. And then if you would like, you can go each area separately. For example, you can start detoxing your lungs and your kidneys, which are the largest detoxification systems in the body. Yeah. And then you can move on to the liver and the spleen and pancreas, and the stomach and things like that, right? So you literally go in layer by layer by layer by layer. Yeah. So, and do it consistently. So if you're just, throwing frequencies at your body, what you're doing is you're patching things up here, patching up things here, patching things up here. So you're not focusing your energy into really, shifting the layer by layer by layer by layer. So have in mind that some people have immediate results. Some people have immediate results for 3 months and they don't have it later because they need to go deeper. Some people don't have results for 6 months and then they have huge results. So everybody is different because we are different beings, right? Because this is quantum physics. We can't limit ourselves on that. Yeah. So my suggestion would be that. If you would like, you can always ask questions. You can't do it in the corporate, but you can always message me if you need to. But I would go layer by layer. Yeah. That would be my suggestion. For someone new to Healy, can start to vibrate 27 minutes, 5 seconds of distance healing. Well, depending what you're vibrating, depending on the person and how sensitive they are, depending on, what they're working on. So there's so many questions there that I can't really answer like a wide spectrum. Would you run the same program for a week or two? Yes, I normally, you mean the pink hat programs or vibrate the list of programs? So if it's a pink hat program, I would, like, depending on what you're doing, right? So for example, I have a specialized program now that I'm working on a specific area of my life, and it's almost 2 hours long. So I run that every single day. Yeah. And I'm running it because it needs to be consistent so I can see the changes and shifts in my body. Yeah. Because it's specifically made for me. So for example, if I would be working on physical level, we're going to look at the physical. But if I would be working on a specific chakra, for example, I would take a week and I would just work on a root chakra for a week. And then I would take another week and I would work on a sacral chakra for a week, for example. Yeah. So, and then I would do exercises to support that. And I would look at the organs surrounding that chakra and I would actually support physical organs surrounding that chakra. So that's how I would do it, if that makes sense. So you mean just one program a day? Well, depends. So you can do pink up to 3 programs, IMF programs per day, but it depends on what fits your day. Like if you have work throughout the day and you can only do programs, pink program apps, IMF programs morning and evening, do that. If you feel like that's too much and you get anxious, then, do 1 program per day. Yeah, that really depends on your body, but up to 3 programs max. For this lovely presentation, very information, beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. This means a lot. So I know that, whatever I'm sharing is of value to people. I'm using Healy for the last 7 months. Welcome. For sleep issues. Perfect. But issue is still there. What shall I do? Okay. So what programs you are using for sleep? That's first thing. Second thing, are you changing anything else in your life? Do you have a sleep routine? Do you take, you turn off mobile phones? Do you, listen to music? Do you turn off your phone on flight mode when you go to sleep? There's so many things you can do in a lifestyle. Sleep, for me, the best program I had forever, and I'm still using it, is local stimulation number 6, which we used to call insomnia. So that's my favorite 20-minute program before bed, and I'm sleeping throughout the night. So if I take kidney, liver, how many days cycles do I complete? Thank you so much for your valuable. Well, I have the list for my first 3 months. For the first 3 months of programs, I've created a list of programs that I use, that I've done for myself. They're literally just being compiled into graphics. So if you go into the group the Freedom with Frequency Quantum community. When they're ready, I'll post the programs, so the list of programs and the schedule and things, how you do it. I'll post it in there so you can actually use that. And I can share that with you if you want to for free for the first 3 months. That's what I do for my team as well, but they're literally being compiled into graphics. How to remove evil eye. Okay, that's a really wide question. Yeah, so what do you define as evil eye? You know, what is it that you're afraid of? What is it that you're looking at? What levels of the field you're looking at? Like there's a lot of things that go into that question. Please provide your number so I can ping you. Svati, I'm so sorry, I don't share my phone number, but you can connect with me through Healy Facebook groups if you would like to. Thanks, Rich. I love what you shared. You're welcome. I'm using resonance vibration for 12 minutes for 4 times a day as suggested. Swati, it depends on how you feel. Yeah. So if you feel that is okay, then keep doing it. If it's not, that's it. In 1 month of Gold Cycle, we run 3 programs a day. Next day being 3. No. So Gold Cycles, when you're doing the first month, you do 1 or 2 programs per day, whatever you want to. So you start with the pure, and then the next program, which is, so if you start with the pure in the morning, the next program that goes in the spiral, so it's clockwise spiral. So the next program will be evening, and the next program will be morning next day, and the next program will be evening, and then again. So you're literally doing this until you finish the entire spiral. And if it comes to a 7th day, you do a pause and then do the next program the next day. So hope this makes sense. So you're literally just doing a spiral all the time throughout the month. Yeah. So morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. You're literally moving through. Okay, that's it. Any other questions? Because we're half an hour over. But if there's any questions, you're more than welcome to post them into the Facebook group under the promotions for the trainings. Next week, we are moving deeper into the chakras. I think, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, my brain is a bit mushy today. We are moving deeper into the layers, and then we're going to have a proper session with, you know, chakra scans and looking at how to read the scans and looking at how to interpret the scans, so you can actually start looking at exactly what you can see when you see the list of things that are coming up. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for coming. I am truly grateful and appreciate your attendance and being here with me. As I said, if any questions, pop them into the Facebook group. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing you next week on Thursday. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful afternoon wherever you are. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next week.